Hello everyone and welcome to our online course. I wanted to record a video for you to show you the way that I've set everything up in D2L so that you'll understand how things will run for the remainder of this semester, and hopefully that will alleviate any fears or anxieties you have as we transition this course to a fully online course. Okay, so the first thing that I want to do today is go over D2L just briefly, kind of show you the way it's set up. And the way I have everything organized. So let me get over to our D2L page. First thing that I want to talk about while we're here is you've probably seen this announcement already, but all of our conferences and office hours, and if we have any synchronous class time, it will all take place in Zoom. And I have my meeting room. The link is here in our announcement page. So anytime that you need to meet with me, you can just click on there and it'll take you directly to our online meeting space. Hopefully, I've emailed our IT department, and if you see over here, there's a widget that they've added, and hopefully the Zoom room link will also be over here, and hopefully you'll see that by the time actually even this video, you're watching this video on March 30th. So again, all office hours and everything, you'll just click on this link. You can also dial in. There's a phone number here, so if you for some reason don't have access to your computer at that time, or you don't have the app on your phone, which by the way you can get, you can just dial this number and then you can call in and we can talk that way. Secondly, know that office hours will now be during our normal class time on Mondays from 8 to 10. It will be by appointment just because I'll be offering individual help. So just email me, let me know, I'll sign you up, and then we can talk that way. And now if these hours don't work because your life has changed in some way that you're not available during that time, just email me, we'll figure it out. We'll set something up, we'll go into Zoom, and we'll do a meeting that way. So just don't panic if that doesn't work for you. Okay, so let me show you how, if I were you, I would navigate everything. So you're going to run everything through content from now on. I would really recommend that you don't, when you need to do a discussion board, don't go anymore from communications tab down to discussions. Also, when you turn assignments in, you don't want to go from assessments down to assignments. Everything's been linked in content. So if I were you, I would just click on the content tab and go from there from now on. Now, remember that over here is our navigation folder. So you want to make sure that you're on week 11, which I am. This will open. I'm going to open it actually as soon as I get this video done today, and which is early. It's a week and a half early. Know that you're not required to do any work in here yet. You're not required to do anything technically until March 30th. But if you want to get a head start and click around in here, I'm going to open it early so that you can do that. Okay, so if I were you, every single week, I would start here in the week folder. So they'll be for week 12, 13, and then 14 through 16 are all together. But there's a weekly folder up here that will always be first. When you get there, there's going to be an assignment sheet, and they're orange and they look the same every week, and it's kind of like a to-do list. It even gives you a check-off column over here on the right. It tells you what to do in the order to do it, whether you're listening, reading, what you're doing. If you're writing something, it tells you what kind of assignment it is, and it tells you the due date. If I were you, I would print this off every week on Monday. As soon as you start on the new week, I would print this off. Secondly, I've made another resource for you this week, and it is an assignment schedule. I won't always do that, but I just thought as we transition to this online environment, it might be helpful for you to see how to kind of go about things. So I've given you a daily assignment and helped you see that even though it looks like a lot, some of the things for this week won't take you very long. Again, we're transitioning, so some things you already have and you've seen before. It's just I'm drawing your attention back to them. So you'll see how I divided it up, what I told you to do for the 2 hours of our class time on Monday. There's about an hour of homework. You don't have to do it on Tuesday. You can do it whenever it works in your schedule. Then there's about 1 to 2 hours worth of work on Wednesday. Again, that's about the equivalent of our class time. And then you just have a 20-minute assignment to do in addition to that. So I think you'll find that I've really cut a lot and reduced it down to make this manageable, especially as we transition. Know that I've given you weekend work. If you want to get ahead, you certainly can, but you don't have to do that. Know that the new week always opens on Friday morning. So in other words, week 11 opens, well, I'll have it open, but ordinarily it will open on Friday. So for example, this week at the end of Friday of week 11, week 12 is going to open, and you can get started if you want to, but know that you don't have to. If you want to wait till Monday, you can do that. It is up to you. All right. I also want to show you the rest of week 11. I'm going to walk through it, and actually I'm going to walk through it with the PowerPoint, but again, I just want you to see that you're going to work through the folders one at a time. Notice that with this assignment, once you're done looking at all the orientation stuff, I would move down to the next folder, and then you'll see for example, you can see here there's a discussion board, but see that it's linked in content, so you can just click to it from here. That way you don't have to again go to the communications and discussions tab and get lost trying to find it. It's already linked. So again, just stay in content. Next, you'll see that then once you're done with this folder, move down to this one. The reason that this is black and I can't click on it right now is because the folder isn't open yet. It's the assignment starts on March 30th, because again, we're not allowed to require you to do any work until then, so the assignment folder doesn't open until then. And so on March 30th, this will turn blue and you'll be able to click on it from here. Okay, so again, if I were you, I would just work down the folders, work through everything, and then when you get to the bottom, you're done for the week. Now this folder is different than other weeks just because I've put in some things. If you want to get ahead and you want to work on week 12 things early, you can certainly do that, and there's a folder for you down here. Okay, I'm going to switch back to the PowerPoint now, but remember, overall, stay in content. Don't click around anywhere else other than maybe your grades, or if you need to email me and you use the communications tab to do that, you can obviously still do that. But other than that, stay in content. Know that then there's a week 12 folder, a week 13 folder, and then one for weeks 14 through 16. This is when you'll start working on the podcast, and so all of that stuff is grouped together, and you can work at your own pace to finish the course, which hopefully you'll appreciate when we get there. Okay, so I'm going to click back through the PowerPoint and help you see what else is going on this week. The next thing, okay, I already went over this. Again, here is just a screenshot of your to-do list for the week. Again, print it, check off the things as you do them. Secondly, I've also screenshotted your suggested schedule. Again, I won't do that every week, but I thought it would be helpful this week for you to kind of see a way to attack everything. Next, on Wednesday of the last time I saw you, I handed out your mentor text for our justice paper. And it's this legal justice with structural comments paper. You have this. It was really thick. It was long. It was in color. This is the first thing that we're going to kind of bring back in for our online work. So you hopefully have already read it. Then you might want to look back through it, because then there's a discussion board. So that, and here is the prompt for the discussion board. It's going to have you really think about what you've learned from reading your mentor text. So this is the first job for you to do this week, is to just do a discussion board on the mentor text. One thing I want to mention about discussion boards, they will run the same way every time we have them. Your initial posts are always due on Wednesday by 11:30 at night. So just make sure that by 11:30 of week 11 that you have posted on the discussion board. Then know that by Friday at 11:30 you are required to reply to at least 3 people. So again, initial posts will always be due on Wednesday and replies are always due on Friday. That will happen with every discussion board. Okay, next, we need to revise the way we were going to pick our justice texts. So if you remember, we were going to meet in a computer lab on our first class back from break, and we were going to meet in our justice groups, and you were all going to present the 3 research texts that you chose, and you were going to pick 3 from your group to put forward for the entire class. Well, because of the online switch, we can't do that anymore. Again, I've mentioned that we were doing a collaborative research project, and now it has to be individual because we're online. So because of that, I had to change the way we're going to do the text set. So the biggest thing to note is that you're no longer working in your justice groups. Those are done. You can certainly text the people in your justice group for help as we go forward, but there'll be no formal assignments in your justice groups any longer. Next, you will not present any texts to the class. Originally, if you remember, you were going to present the 3 chosen texts to the whole class. That's not going to happen anymore. Last, each person will be forming their own individual text set. So remember that the text set is going to eventually include 21 texts. I gave you 15 of those already. You have 7 expository texts and 8 stories. Those are the ones we've been working with in class up till now. So after this week, you will have a complete text set. You have to fill in those last 6 choices. So the first thing you're going to do, of the 3 research texts that you were going to bring to class Monday after break, you're going to pick your favorite. So look at those 3 stories that you were going to bring to class and pick the one for your justice type that you liked the best. Then, secondly, for the other 5 justice types that you need an additional story for, I have what's called a justice pool, and if you look back in D2L, there's a link to that document. What I've done is over the past couple years, every time students had really great texts for a certain justice type, I wrote the link down and I've created a list. So you're going to read through the text in the justice pool. Now keep in mind, you only have to do that for the justice types that you didn't do research for. So for example, if you were assigned communitive justice and you have 3 stories that you brought in that exemplify communitive justice, you're going to pick one of those, your favorite that you brought in, and then you are going to read the pool for the 5 other types. So that means you'll go through distributive, social, procedural, restorative, and retributive. Now, that will apply for whatever justice type you have. So if you had retributive, then you would read for the 5 other types. So you're going to read the pool. There's about 5 stories in each subcategory. So there's 5 for retributive, 5 for restorative. Go through, read them, and pick your favorite in each section. Now, once you've done that for the 5 justice types in the pool, plus your research story, you will have your 6 additional texts. Now, this is all explained in detail on this worksheet, so just make sure that is also in the D2L folder for this topic, so just look there. Okay, now before we move forward, what I want to tell you too about the program I'm using to record this presentation is it only allows you 15 minutes at a time. So because I can see where I am, I'm going to stop this video and there'll be a part 2. So please click on part 2 for the rest of this week's assignments.